Imagine social justice in America without the independent sector, without the nonprofit sector and civil society. It is impossible for there to be justice in America without a strong, robust, and vibrant civil society.
For over 100 years, the nonprofit sector has been the catalyst for all social change in this country. From the civil rights movement and the women's rights movement of the past to the racial justice and environmental justice movement of today, the common thread has been the nonprofit sector and its leaders to bring about a more equitable and just society.
Nonprofit sector helps create a just and equitable society by focusing on the human experience of every part of our daily lives. And that focus really helps get at the heart of how people experience things differently, similarly, and what drives the difference in experiences.
The nonprofit sector has always been focused on those who are most in need, individuals who are marginalized by the systems, policies, and activities in our society. The nonprofit sector's work really does focus on a just and equitable society by looking at how can we change the systems, what supports do people need as individuals, and how do we come together collectively to create change.
What gives me hope is that I get to work in a sector where people can focus on the positive.
We really have to hold each other's hands and have each other's backs as we pivot and shift into a new way of doing business.
Nonprofits and philanthropic organizations must build community because our community is what will get us through this crisis. In a democracy, civil society plays an essential and critical role, a role of building resilience and building community at a time when people feel stressed, hopeless, and pessimistic. Our sector gives people hope.
The IS Network is a great opportunity to bring all of the stakeholders from different parts of the nonprofit and the philanthropic sectors together to collaborate around common goals.
The independent sector community is so valuable to my work because in so many ways it challenges us to continue thinking bigger and broader and bolder than you would if you were just sort of in your silo on a daily basis.
I think the independent sector community is an important space for individuals and organizations to come together for shared learning and collective action.
I wanted to get to know people who were doing things other than Latino empowerment. That work is core to what I do and to who I am, but I wanted to be able to compare notes with my colleagues who are doing work in a variety of different areas of expertise.
What gives me hope is being able to work with other nonprofit leaders through the independent sector. Despite if our missions are different, I found that our values across the sector are really aligned for racial justice and bringing about more equitable outcomes for Black and Indigenous people living in low-wealth communities. And that is really inspiring to me that we are collectively, as a sector, committing to equitable outcomes for all people.
We must focus on the health of the nonprofit sector because as the nonprofit sector goes, so goes America.